Good evening, everybody. It's almost time for the Monday Night Net. Got just a couple of minutes. Different weather pattern this week, other than unlike last week when it was cold in here. Heater couldn't keep up. It's a blustery 88 degrees outside today. So, slightly different. Got the air conditioner running this week. Anyway, we'll get started here in just a couple of minutes. Got my coffee. Should be coming up. Come on, Peter.
The time is 7 p.m. K5VZC.
There it is. It's about a half a minute off. That's okay. We can deal with that. I guess we'll get started. Good evening, everybody. This is K5 KJZ, and it's now time for the Canton Area Radio Emergency Services Monday Night Net. Name here is Randy. Located about 4 miles south of Canton off of 198. I'll be in net control for tonight's CARES. CARES is the Canton Area Radio Emergency Services Radio Club. This net is held on Monday evenings at 1900 hours local time on the K5VZC repeater system at 147.200 and 444.975 over in Primrose, 442.875 over in Kaufman, and lastly 444.800 on the Silo, the south location for us. It is open to all amateur radio license holders, and we encourage you to join in and participate. Hey, good evening, Jason. I don't see your call sign showing up on the repeater yet, Jason. Did you link to KD5KJZ-L for link? The CARES Radio Club meets on the third Wednesday of the month at 6:30 p.m. at the Van Zandt County Library off of FM 859 next to the Blackwell Historic Home. All interested parties are welcome to attend. We had that meeting for March just last week, so it'll be just a few more weeks and we'll have another one. The purpose of this net is to build amateur radio use throughout Van Zandt County and Kaufman County by providing a venue for operators to become comfortable and proficient speaking over the airwaves, such that should an emergency arise, we'll be ready to help transmit and receive emergency messages. If at any time you have an emergency, call in with break, and we'll take that call immediately. Let's take a short pause and see if there's any emergency traffic at this time. This is K5 KJZ. There you are. I see you, Jason. Good deal. Be glad to hear you on. That's always a good sign. No emergency traffic at this point. So with that, we'll go ahead and start our check-ins. When you call in, give me just your call sign phonetically and slowly so I can get you into the log. And then we'll go to the next part. 85 KJZ, taking check-ins. Well, don't everybody rush to be first.
W2NOW. KI5QID.
Hey, you made it, Jason. Might see if you can turn down your mic gain just a smidgen. It's a little hot coming in.
KJ5HCG. Kilo Juliet 5 Hotel Charlie Golf. Kilo India 5 Bravo Delta India.
I will go ahead and take that short pause and that would like to recognize W2NOW, KI5QYD, KJ5HCG, KI5BDI. Any more check-ins for tonight's net? K5KJZ.
Kilo Foxtrot 5 Victor Alpha Victory. Kilo Juliet 5 Levant Uniform Golf, KJ5LUG.
Picked up a couple more. All right, well, we picked up a couple more that we recognize KF5VAV and KJ5LUG. We'll try one more time. Anybody else like to join us for tonight's net? Come down with your call sign. Smaller crowd this week. That's okay. We'll take it. Looks like that's going to be all for now. All right, not hearing any more for now. We'll go ahead and get everybody to give me your name, approximate location, and any traffic you may have for tonight's net. We'll start off with W2NOW.
This is David, W2NOW. I'm in Van, about 12 miles east of Canton, and no traffic.
Thank you, David. Good to hear you this evening. Been missing you. Next on our list, KI5QYD.
This is KI5QID. My name's Jason. I live in Palm Springs in Hampton County, by in St. Oaks.
All right, very good, Jason. And just for everybody else to know, Jason usually checks in with us on YouTube. Pretty proud member there. But he's got Echo Link working this evening. So good to have you, Jason. Next on our list, KJ5HCG.
Name Charlie G. I am about 10 miles south of Canton, off of Highway 19, about 1 mile, and no traffic.
All right, good evening, Charlie G. Good to hear you this evening. Next on the list, Mr. KI5BDI.
KI5BDI, this is Kevin, 5 miles north of I-20 off of Highway 19, no traffic.
No traffic. Good evening to you, Mr. Kevin. Glad you could make it. Next we have KF5BAV.
KF5BAV here, name's Cody. Kind of approximate location is somewhere around Interstate 20 and Highway 19 in Canton, Texas. I do have one bit of traffic for just a little bit later. Back to you, Rick.
All right, Cody, we'll come back to you here shortly. Next we have KJ5LUG.
KJ5LUG, this is Brent. I'm about 3 miles north of Terrell off of 205.
Got you in there. Good to hear you this evening. All right, let's take a short pause and see if there's anybody else that'd like to join in for tonight's CARES Net. This is K5KJZ. All right, hearing none, guess we'll move on and we'll check in with Cody. He said he had a piece of traffic for us. Cody, go ahead, sir.
Yes, sir. I was just going to advise that I got the camera in and the extension cord in, just not the memory card yet for the generator set up at Wolf Point. Set up my camera monitor, generator monitor for the camera monitor for the generator, whatever. Project I'm working on. Hopefully I'll have it in soon. I'll try to get out there as soon as I can to get that hooked up. So that's all I have. Back to you, Rick. KF5 Daisy.
All right, sounds good. Thank you, Cody. Yeah, that'll be good to have where we can at least be able to hear when that generator runs. Thank you for that, Cody. Appreciate it. All right, as usual, we go back to Mr. Kevin and check to see if we happen to have a bad dad joke for us. Kevin?
KI5BDI, I do happen to have a bad dad joke. Why was algebra an easy subject in ancient Rome? Why was algebra an easy subject in ancient Rome?
Why
Anybody?
Algebra an easy subject in ancient Rome. Something pyramid. I have no idea. Well, I'll take a guess at it. Was it just a pyramid scheme? KJ5KJZ.
Well, that would actually be Egyptian times.
Why was algebra a
J5HCG, go try. Hey, Charlie. Maybe Cutler had something to do with Greek alphabet. I'm not sure. Yeah. Alrighty. Algebra was an easy subject for the ancient Romans because X was always 10.
Alrighty. Yeah, that was a bad dad joke. Thank you, Kevin. Appreciate it. Hopefully, everybody caught that one. All right, moving right along. Since last week was St. Patrick's Day, and I meant to do this last week, but it was too cold in here for me, so my brain wasn't working. So this week we're going to do the St. Patrick's Day questions that I actually had prepared. So put your thinking caps on, not your green ones, and we'll get started. I'll preface this by telling you that these are not your usual green jokes, water, green beer, all that kind of fun stuff. So put your thinking caps back on. In what year did St. Patrick die, which is traditionally associated with March 17th? In what year did St. Patrick die, which is traditionally associated with March 17th?
Is it 1942?
That didn't come all the way through. Jason, can you type it real quick? The year didn't come through, Jason. I didn't get it. Try one more time, or type it in the chat on YouTube. Either one.
Is it 1942?
No, sir. Nope. Got to go back just a little bit further. Anybody else?
W with a guess.
Go ahead, David. Jump on in there.
I'm going to guess around the year 1000.
Nope. You got to go back just a little further. Anybody else? One more time. Alrighty. Well, according to this website, St. Patrick died in 461 AD. 461. All right, here's your next one. Everybody associates green with St. Patrick's Day, but what was the original color associated with St. Patrick's Day before green became so popular? Anybody?
I reckon blue.
You got it, Jason. Yes, sir, Jason, you got it. It was originally called St. Patrick's Blue. Good job, man. All right. At what age was St. Patrick when he was kidnapped and brought to Ireland as a slave? At what age was St. Patrick when he was kidnapped and brought to Ireland as a slave?
Yeah, 5BDI.
Yes, sir, Mr. Kevin. Jump in there.
I think 19.
Mm, so close. So very close. Missed it by that much. Anybody else?
KIITID. I was a 20 years old.
Now, off just a little bit too much. St. Patrick was around 16, 1-6, when he was kidnapped and brought to Ireland as a slave. All right, here's your next one. What famous book did St. Patrick supposedly use the shamrock to help explain? What famous book did St. Patrick supposedly use the shamrock to help explain?
W2NOW.
David's going to need it. Go ahead, Mr. Dave.
I thought he used it to help explain the Bible, in particular the Trinity.
Yep, that's it. You nailed it. Good job, sir. All right, here's your next one. Which Irish city held the first St. Patrick's Day parade in Ireland, not the U.S.? Which Irish city held the first St. Patrick's Day parade in Ireland?
KIITID. I was in Dublin, Ireland. Dublin, Ireland.
Nope, not Dublin. No, sir, not Dublin. Anybody else? Oh, Misty. Oh, good job. Yep, Waterford. Waterford, Ireland. I guess you knew that already, though, since you're in Ireland. I guess you have an advantage over the rest of us here in Texas. Oh, really? Huh, okay. All righty. Well, nobody's going to get it here, I guess. Our friend in Ireland that checks in with us on YouTube had the correct answer. It's Waterford. Waterford, Ireland. All right, here's another one for you. Which U.S. city claims the earliest recorded St. Patrick's Day celebration? Not parade, celebration. What U.S. city claims the earliest recorded St. Patrick's Day celebration? Florida. Well, let's see. That's not what they're giving me. They're giving me St. Augustine, which was under Spanish rule. It could have been Florida. Maybe it just wasn't Florida at the time. That was in the 1600s. right, I'll throw another clue in there. It was in the 1600s in the U.S. Which city claimed the earliest recorded St. Patrick's Day celebration?
Yeah, 5BDI.
Let's see what the doctor says. Go ahead, Mr. Kevin.
I'll go with Boston.
Boston? No, sir. Not that one. Anybody else? One more time.
KFI
New York? Go ahead, Jason. No, sir. No, the correct answer they're giving me online here is St. Augustine, which I believe at the time in the 1600s was under Spanish rule. So it may not have been Florida at that point in time, but St. Augustine in present day Florida. All right, here's your next one. What was banned in Ireland on St. Patrick's Day until 1970? What was banned in Ireland on St. Patrick's Day until the 1970s?
NOW guesses green beer.
Well, kind of, sort of, but maybe expand your horizons just a little bit. Don't narrow it down to just beer. That probably gave it away. Alcohol. Yeah.
Guess pinching. I'm changing my answer.
Oh, well, you were close. Anybody else want to take a shot at it? Moonshine, as you guys say, yeah. Moonshine. That's some nasty stuff from what I hear. I don't know. I don't drink. All right. Well, alcohol sales in general were banned on St. Patrick's Day until the 1970s. Pubs were actually legally closed on March 17th until 1970. All right, we're going to round it out with this one. What is the name of the traditional Irish dish of bacon and cabbage often eaten on this holiday? What is the name of the traditional Irish dish of bacon and cabbage often eaten on this holiday? It's a little warm here this week, Misty. It was cold last week, and now it's in the 80s this week. So, crazy spring weather that we always get.
KFI I would say
Haggis. No, it's not haggis. No, sir. No, that's not it. Anybody else want to take a shot at it? What meat is used in haggis, Misty? I don't remember. oats and mutton boiled in the stomach as a holder. Also, is it a lamb's stomach that is used? All right, one more time. What is the name of the traditional Irish dish of bacon and cabbage often eaten on this holiday? Huh. Okay. And now we know. Did not know that, Misty. All right, now you're all going to laugh at this because it really was that easy. The name of the dish is Irish bacon and cabbage, which is different from the American corned beef traditions. So, see, I gave you the answer. You just didn't realize it. And just for those that are wondering, haggis is oats and mutton, and but we won't say what it's boiled in. Some folks may be eating dinner. So anyway, all right, we're going to round that out for this week. Call it to a close. So when I call on you, if you would give us any parting last comments, any possible information or announcements you may have that have come up, and we'll call it to a close. We'll start off at the top of the list with Mr. David, W2NOW.
Thanks for having the net tonight, Randy, and best wishes to everybody for the rest of the week. W2NOW, clear.
All right, thank you, David. Good to hear you again. Come back just any time. Next on the list is Mr. KI5QYD.
This is KFI and thank you very much for having me. I had to wait for a while, but it was real easy. But I had fun. I tried to do as walking as I can. KFI, and I will be clear.
All right, Jason, good to hear from you tonight. Glad you can make it in this evening. Next on our list, KJ5HCG.
Interesting questions and very knowledgeable answers there. Learn something every day. Y'all have a good week. Appreciate you running the net, Randy. KJ58CG.
All right, Charlie G, thanks for checking in with us this evening. Good to hear you. Next on the list, Mr. KI5BDI.
Hi, BDI. Thanks for running the net tonight. Good questions on the St. Patty's Day. Yeah, 5 BDI, back to net control.
All right, Mr. Kevin, appreciate you stopping in this evening. Good to hear you. Next, we have KF5VAV.
I may be coming in on the spot, but pulling into the QTH from Dallas. So glad to be home. Glad to hear how y'all. Hope you're doing well. David, good to hear you out here again. Been a while since I've heard you. I hope y'all are doing well and have a great week ahead. KF5, VAV is clear, and time for a nap.
All right, Mr. Cody, glad you made it home safely. Thanks for checking in with us this evening. Next on our list, Mr. KJ5LUG. Well, we'll check back one more time. Mr. KJ5LUG. Brent, you still with us? He may have had to check out early and we just missed it. Anyway, glad he could check in with us. All right, everybody. Y'all have a safe week. Enjoy it. Drink lots of water because it's going to be kind of warm this week. This is KD5, KJZ, closing the Monday Night Cares now. Have a good evening. 7-3. All right, Misty. Good to see you again. Have a good evening. Morning, actually, in your time. We'll hopefully catch you again next week. Have a good one. Talk to you later.